name is Miss Sunderland, and welcome to NDSU Subnotes. Today we will be learning about the history of stained glass and creating one of our very own at the end. After this lesson, you should be able to understand the history of this art style and some vocab terms that come along with it. You should also be able to replicate the style of stained glass in your own work. Let's go! Hey everyone! Today we're going to be talking about the colorful world of stained glass. Imagine walking into a grand cathedral and the sunlight streams through the vibrant glass windows, painting the floor with magnificent colors. That's the magic of stained glass. Alright, you should have one of these worksheets for yourself. Make sure to read over it because I will be answering some of these questions in this video. There's a front side with a worksheet with some questions on it, and there's a back side with just some history of stained glass. If I don't answer all the questions on here, you can do some of your own research after this video is done. Stained glass has been around for a long time, but it really took off during the Gothic period around the 12th century. Back then, it wasn't just about making things pretty. These windows told stories. In churches, they showed scenes from the Bible, helping people who couldn't read learn about their faith. But stained glass wasn't just for churches. During the Renaissance, people started using it in their homes, too. Imagine having a window with your family's special symbol on it. The artists used special techniques to make these windows. They painted on the glass with something called vitreous paint, which sticks to the glass when it's heated. They also used a silver stain to help add some beautiful yellow hues. So stained glass is way more than just art. It's a way to tell stories, celebrate your faith, and bring light and color into our lives. Isn't that amazing? Stained glass does not just have to be for windows. It can also be for other places in your home. Tiffany lamps are a great example of this. They were decorative lamps created by Louis Comfort Tiffany in the late 19th century and early 20th centuries. They're known for their beautiful stained glass shades, often featuring intricate designs like flowers, dragonflies, and geometric patterns. The glass pieces are then soldered together using copper foil, creating a mosaic effect. Tiffany lamps are celebrated for their vibrant colors and artistic craftsmanship, drawing inspiration from nature and the Art Nouveau movement. They're a great example of how stained glass techniques evolved over time. Alright, now we're going to be going over the process of making stained glass pieces. First, an artist creates a design or pattern. This design is often drawn on paper, and then it can serve as a blueprint for the stained glass piece. The design can also include all of the details and all of the colors that will be used in the piece. Next up, the artist selects different colored glass pieces. These pieces will be cut to match the shapes in your design. The colors are chosen carefully to create the desired effect. The glass is then cut into specific shapes using a tool called a glass cutter. This tool scores the glass, allowing it to be snapped along the scored line. Precision is key here. Once all of these pieces are cut out, they are assembled on a flat surface. The pieces are arranged according to the design, like a puzzle. And if they don't quite fit together like you need them to, you can grind down the edges to make them just a little bit smaller. Next, to add details, artists use vitreous paint. This paint is applied to the glass and then fired in a kiln. The heat in this kiln fuses the paint to the glass, creating detailed imagery and shading. The glass pieces are then joined together using strips of lead, called cames. The lead holds the glass pieces in place and forms the framework of the stained glass window. On the piece that I'm showing you today, the artist is using copper foil, but the process is pretty much the same. The points where the lead strips meet are now soldered together. This strengthens the structure and ensures the glass pieces stay securely in place. The last step is a special cement that is applied to the lead joints. This seals the window and makes it weatherproof. This is only needed if you are making a traditional window that would need to be sealed off. And there you have it. A beautiful stained glass piece is complete. This process combines art and craftsmanship to create stunning works that play with light and color. Okay, now that we've learned about the history of stained glass and how to create it, we're going to be making our own. But since we don't have enough time to make real stained glass, we're going to make something that looks just like it. Okay, now let's start creating our own stained glass. Grab your piece of paper and crumple it up in your hands. Make sure you get some tight lines because after you open it up, you want to be able to see where the lines are from where you folded and squished your paper. Now examine your paper and find those tiny lines. Those are going to be the joining lines of your stained glass. To make sure that they stick out, you can take a Sharpie and trace all of those little lines. Once you have done that, you're going to start coloring in all those little shapes that you have created. You can choose between colored pencils or markers for this today. If you want a softer look, go for the colored pencils. But if you want a more bold and intense feeling, you could go with the markers. When coloring in your shapes, try to alternate your colors so that the same color does not touch itself within your stained glass piece. And there you have it. You have made your own stained glass. This is an example of one that I made earlier. If you want more of a challenge, next time try to create pictures out of the shapes that you created when you crumpled the paper. You could also try to use only warm colors or only cool colors. I hope you all had a lot of fun learning about stained glass today. Now it's time for you to go make your own. Have fun! Bye!